This is something I understand, but let's just listen to. So T. Higgins talks about all the trash that the defense gets.
Like as an offensive guy, seeing how we portrayed the defense over the course of the year?
It's kind of hurtful because I'm their teammate, and all the trash talk about these guys, it's kind of hurtful, to me, because I see all the hard work they put in every single day, and so I feel like these guys are gonna turn around that narrative this year.
Joe has said he feels like he's throwing the ball as well as he ever has in his life. Certainly looked like he threw it well last year to me, but is it better? Do you notice a difference?
Joe's been slinging it, man. All camp, all week. Joe's been putting the ball in the right places, putting it to where only we can catch it. And, I feel like this has definitely been one of his best camps throwing the ball. And I'm looking forward to see what he does.
All right, obviously I love T, and no disrespect, but this was a very, very bad take in my opinion. Across the board, yeah, I'm sure that it hurts to hear it, but at the same time, it's their job. Like, we pay these defensive players to do their job and to perform at a high level. And I'm sure it hurts as a teammate to have other parts of your team not doing good and obviously getting trashed for it. But at the same time, like, there's got to be some accountability here, right? I mean, look at last year and how atrociously bad our defense was. It was to a point where when our defense got on the field, you knew they were going to give up a touchdown. You knew they were going to give up a score. Like, it took, you could count, okay, how many plays before they score? 4, 5 plays? Like, I agree. I understand why it would be hurtful from the other side. But, like, as an offense, you got to start, like, holding them accountable as well. Like, hey, this is unacceptable. We're not going out here and throwing a touchdown to Jamar Chase just to go for a 3-play drive for the defense to give up a touchdown. So I get the perspective, but they got to do their job. They got to go out there and actually perform. They actually got to go out there and do what they're paid to do. So, again, I understand the perspective, and I do understand that, it's definitely one of those things where you see them, as he says, you see them put in all this hard work, and then they don't get the credit. They get the credit if they go out there and perform. They get the credit they do their job. I mean, look at the preseason. Missed tackles left, right, and center. Are we supposed to just sit here and say, all right, well, it is what it is, unfortunately. I don't want to be mean to them. No, the only way you're going to get a different production is by holding them accountable and actually, treating them like, hey, you guys need to do better. So, I disagree with this. I really do. Like, I understand, but, like, as an offensive player, you shouldn't feel bad. You should be more like, hey, hold their feet to the grindstone or hold their feet to the fire, as they would say. I don't know. I'm more in this perspective of, like, it's bad, but it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for them. They shouldn't put the offensive players in the stance where they have to feel bad for them. It should be a situation where they just do their job. They're getting paid millions upon millions upon millions of dollars, and they don't do their job. Like, in any other profession, you'd be fired. Fired. End of story. They wouldn't even give you a chance to make up for it. Like, you would be fired. So, yeah, that's an interesting take. Again, he's saying it from his point of view. And at the end of the day, everyone's has their opinion on things. Everyone has their feelings on things. And, his feelings are valid, right? Because obviously he's looking at it from a friendship point of view. But, you got to look at it from a job point of view / an actual, you're trying to win the Super Bowl point of view. And by not holding them accountable, by not, pressuring this, hey, you need to be trashed on. You need to hear this. You need to, it's just going to kind of keep the same exact situation happening, right? So you need to kind of put the pedal to the metal here and actually say, this is unacceptable. We need to do better, and again, I will say in the preseason, again, it's just a preseason, but I also saw last year, and I hear a lot of the same things as last year when it comes to, like, the same, things being quoted. Oh, well, they look so much better. They look so much better. Like, they're putting in the work. They're putting in the effort. You look at last year, you're going to be hard-founded to find all the effort they put in. When I saw the Ravens game, the first Ravens game, where Tylan Wallace, by the way, not like, Zay Flowers, not even Rashad Bateman. We're talking about Tylan Wallace, okay? Not a top 10 receiver in the NFL. I think he's actually off the team now. Broke 4, 5, 6 tackles to go 80 yards for a touchdown. 6 tackles. When I see our defense giving up on 3rd and 4, an 80-yard touchdown after breaking 6 tackles, my eyes and my brain, they don't work together. Because they say, I'm not supposed to trash that team or that defense, but come on, man. Like, it's hard not to, right? It's hard not to trash them for that. And then you hear, well, they put in all this time and effort. I'm looking at it like, where's the time? Where's the effort? Because that should be day one. That should be elementary school level of how to tackle somebody. And again, I know he's speaking more of like this year, like, hey, this year they're going to look better. But again, I watched the preseason, and I know it's not all the starters played the whole game, but even some of the backups, I saw the same hiccups we saw last year when it came to tackling. Like, the tackling was unacceptable. Missed tackles here and there. Again, it looked a lot better, but also keep in mind, we give 176 yards per game on average in the preseason. That type of stuff cannot fly in the regular season. If you want to go to the Super Bowl, you want to be successful, that type of stuff needs to be done with. And we don't need to just hear, oh, well, they're doing such a better job. No, I want to see it. There's a motto, seeing is believing. I want to see it. I don't want to hear it. Because clearly, sometimes things are getting said that doesn't always indicate how things are being done. So, yeah. That's my mindset. Again, I think the defense deserves all the trash talk they get because they're not performing at a level we need them to be. Now, again, this year, hopefully things are different. But until they prove this year is different, there's going to be trash talk. There's going to be a lot of, blah, 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 blah. And it's going to continue until they change it. They're the ones that can change this whole situation. They're the ones that can stop the narrative from happening. If you're, you don't like the narrative that the defense sucks, go out there and play good defense. People can't blame you, can't attack you if what they're. Well, obviously people can make up stuff. I've seen that many times. But people can't. For the most part, a valid source, a valid criticism can't happen if you're doing good and you're going out there and doing your job, right? Like, there's no way someone can say, oh, this defense sucks if statistically you're putting up great numbers. Statistically, you're stopping them from scoring. Statistically, you're making your tackles. So it's also, again, it's a part of that accountability thing. We need the accountability. And, when you go out there and you are incensed last year, just embarrassing, I don't know. You're going to get trashed. You're going to get a lot of hate. So, that's my opinion. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. Peace out.